Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam, salam, salam. Um, so this is going to be, a pre-live before I go on my open mic. If you catch this, make sure you check that out. That's going to start at 4 p.m. Pacific Central Time or Pacific Coast Time, whatever one, but it's West Coast time in and of itself. Okay, so yeah, before I sleep in on the weekends because I never get enough sleep, and I think I've talked about that a little bit, how that affects me and things like that. But anyway, good morning to those that are in the morning time. Good afternoon, good night, wherever time zone you're in. But just before this live, I want to get something on my chest. Of course, if you see the title, it's called "Moving in Silence." So I say it's moving in silence because I think one of my biggest struggles in life is I think I would have been so much, there's always the hypothetical shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But I really think that I would have been so much more successful in life and been able to push myself further if I had known how to control my mouth, right? And I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I have a big freaking mouth, bro. I've had a big mouth for a long time. And I think a lot of the reason has to do with, for one, I kind of grew up in a big family. So if you don't have a big mouth, you don't get noticed. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, have influence over people by speaking to them because otherwise you get pretty much drowned out. The second thing is I think since I had ADHD and stuff like that, or I probably still have an adult form of it. That's an ongoing journey. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Basically, I'm impulsive. So I'm very impulsive when I'm passionate about something. So I have to get something off my chest. You know what I mean? That's something that I noticed also. And unfortunately, a lot of what I discover now is a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people, like I get across this from people a lot. And I don't know how to read the room. Hey, what's up, Nicer? Hey, just doing one quick live before I get my day started and get ready to do my first open mic. But anyway, I don't know when to keep my mouth shut. And that's why I think I started this channel. I wish I started a channel a lot sooner. Like, I really wish I started a channel a lot sooner and I knew the YouTube game and how easy it is actually to get something started. Because I could have built up an audience and use social media to kind of like gather followers and things like that. But anyway, I don't know how to keep my mouth shut. I think when I need to, and then sometimes even if you want to say something and you feel like it's appropriate, I feel like sometimes it's best just to, especially in the workplace. This comes in heavy perspective in the workplace. I have a big problem with sometimes it's a subconscious thing. It's not intentional whatsoever, but I end up making my coworkers my therapist or something. And that's not a healthy way of dealing with things. And now it took me until now to realize that after I've actually talked to a psychiatrist and a therapist, that's super unhealthy because they're just ordinary people. Like, and some of these people, they may be better in positions in your life, but they don't have the authority to tell you necessarily on what's best for you as an individual. And I talk about individualism as cancer, right? There's some things that as a collective, as a species, or as people or community, whatever you like to have it, that are common knowledge. Like, hey, it's probably not your best interest to drink alcohol constantly. It's probably not your interest to do drugs. It's probably not your interest to get involved in toxic relationships. That's all kind of obvious things that people can kind of agree on for the most part. However, there's other little more niche things, especially like me when I talk about like traumatic experience in my life. Like, that's a really heavy thing to like tell someone. And it's, especially as a guy, I'm going to be very honest. There's not a lot of sympathy for us when we talk about traumatic experiences in our lives. And it's the elephant in the room when it comes to mental health, especially men's mental health. Nobody kind of understands that. So even other men, sadly, I think are also a part of the problem. Like we say that we care so much, we have empathy and compassion, but like guys, we're the first ones to really harp on each other for showing weakness like that. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, like nobody wants to hear another guy cry and complain. Nobody wants to hear this. And there's difference between crying and complaining about something. Crying and complaining about something, it's like you're not actively doing anything to solve your problem. But when people actually solve their, or try to make efforts and stuff like that, it can be discouraging when people when I feel, at least, when people go out of their way to kind of like make you feel belittled, or when sometimes I like open up to people about stuff like that and they don't really have anything to say about it. And that shit really hurts. And at least acknowledge that I'm opening myself up to you and that means something. And then say, hey, I don't have the answers for you, but are you getting help? And if so, if you don't feel comfortable getting help, hey, let me help you help yourself. Like if I had anybody over that I know that had a problem drinking alcohol, or they're in an abusive relationship or something like that, hey, some of those things I might be able to be knowledgeable about because my life experiences, but at the same time, I'm going to be like, hey, if I don't have the answers for you because this is a really heavy topic in conversation, let me help you, and then, you know, hold you by the hand. And there's nothing wrong with, some people need that kind of help, right? And you shouldn't shame those people for that. Like, hold those people by the hand and be like, hey, here's the resources that you have. Here's what I use. Sit down with that person, man. Take out some time of your day, because like we spend so much time doing so much BS. We spend so much hours looking at porno. We spend hours looking at stupid viral videos on social media. People spend hours going on other people's social media and thirst trapping and stuff like that. You know, we spend so many hours of our day doing absolute like unproductive BS. You know what I'm saying? Or we do selfish things, right? Granted, everybody needs their own time, right? But we spend so much hours doing that. We think like that it's like we have to go out of our way just to help someone. That's what's crazy, bro. And I see that in Cali a lot, bro. Homeless people on the street, trash all over. There's trash everywhere, bro. This is like, California is honestly one of the most dirty freaking places I've ever been. Beautiful, beautiful state. Beautiful state. But it's going to crap like everywhere I go, even like the college towns, man. I go into the downtown college areas and stuff, and some of them look pretty nice. I even go to the parks, man. There's trash everywhere. And everybody just walks past it like it's nothing. It's disgusting. Like I said, the old saying, think before you speak, I modified to tap into your intuition before you speak. Like entertainment, but keep it in moderation. Yeah, man. It's good to like a lot of the time, while the state entertainment, for instance, I watched a movie last night before I went to bed. I was already sleepy. I listened to music right before I go to bed, or when I work out, or when I'm going on a long drive. But I'm not sitting there at work constantly. Like, that's one thing I'm glad I don't have Instagram and Facebook anymore. I'm not on my freaking social media or even YouTube for the most part while I'm at work, just freaking going through crap and stuff like that. Like, I realize, especially with my condition, it takes me more effort than the average person to stay on task and to be productive. Like, I have to go to work earlier than everybody else to get my day started. I have to sometimes I stay longer than everyone else to get stuff done. All these other things, right? I have to do that because I'm not at the same level as other people as far as how they handle things. I have to handle things in my own way. And that's one thing that I think people get. I don't want to misconstrue my individualism as cancer thing. No, we as individuals have our own niches, have our own problems, have our own conditions, right? And we have to adapt to society's needs by being on a certain level. And in order to compete against or be on other people's levels, or to cooperate with those people, I have to do my own way of doing it. And that may seem strange to other people showing up to work 2 hours ahead of time. That may seem strange to people staying behind to work or whatever like that, like you don't have a life and stuff like that. But that's what I have to do to be successful. That's what I have to do to be successful, point blank, period. But yeah, man, nicer. I really struggle with that, and it's always been a thing with me. Now, there's certain, I think also I have to learn to adapt to a new style workplace. For instance, I work in an office now. Before that, I was working service industry. Bro, service industry, people be dropping like bombs on you. People be talking about their divorce. People be talking about their sex life. People be talking about, financial issues they have, mental problems. Like, service industry is a whole different environment, completely different ball game than the office job. I hate working in an office. I'm going to be completely honest. I hate it. It seems unnatural. Sitting in front of a freaking desk all day. Of course, the walls look like kind of my room, like they're bare walled for the most part. It's phone calls all the time, and it's just not me. I thought it would be me. I thought it'd be something I get into, but it's not. I'm just not that. believe it or not, I actually prefer like a service industry based thing compared to that. I'm not going to get back to the service industry. I've been talking about my ambitions in life. I want to be a teacher. To some people that seems like a lowly profession, but my purpose in life, my sincere purpose in life is not to make a bunch of money. It is to help the youth. It is to help people that were like me, that were lost and seeking guidance. And if our society doesn't value that, we're truly going down the gutter. Like it's over. Like it's a wrap, especially like Western American society. If we don't have that, we are so concerned with having a white collar job or making a bunch of money, being an entrepreneur. If we're so focused on that and there's nobody that steps into the plate to take care of the youth and teach the youth, we are gone. Because everywhere else in the world doesn't think like that. Only in like the West, especially America, a hyper-capitalist society, is everybody chasing the almighty dollar, and that's what it's all about. Nobody's or being quote artistic or some crap like that. Like nobody cares about doing the greater good for the community. Okay, yeah, so you emailed me in short, yeah. That's what's up. So I think I'm gonna keep this short, because you're the only one in here. So that's why I just wanted to get a gist of like I really struggle with keeping my mouth shut, and as my treatment goes along the way, I think I'll be able to do that and finally have an outlet. And one of my biggest regrets is opening myself up too much to people, because once you do that, you can't ever come back from it. Like first impressions are everything. Like the next, when I transition into a different job and a different environment, what I'm going to do, and I'm always going to remember, I'm going to write it down and put it on my door before I leave the house every single day. Keep your freaking mouth shut. And don't even outside of work, don't be texting your coworkers or anything like that. Because I really understand, I really have finally understood that people just don't get me. And I rub people off the wrong way. When I finally think I understand people or people understand me, I throw a curveball in there subconsciously. It's usually not intentional. And I rub people off the freaking wrong way. It is so freaking easy. And that's why, especially controversial topics, I don't even talk to people at work about that anymore. I'm talking about religion or politics, really anywhere at work. I rub people off the wrong freaking way. And it hurts because you would like to think that you're approachable and people can open you up outside of a workplace mentality as not a coworker or employee or boss or whatever like that. But I can't do that because in order to do that and be successful at it, I have to lie. I'm not a good liar. I'm a terrible freaking liar. And I'm tired of lying to people about how I feel about things. I'm tired of lying to people about who I am. I'm tired of lying to people about my intentions. I'm just tired of lying to people. But the biggest, most successful people here are two kinds of people: liars and manipulators. And see, a manipulator doesn't always lie, but they know how to get what they want out of you by you placing trust in them. You know what I mean? Especially when people have dirty laundry and they tell somebody, those people use that as leverage all too often to get what they want out of that person. And that sucks. That's not healthy in my opinion. You should be able to, you should not use that against someone or whatever like that. That's really toxic in my opinion. But anyway, that's in of itself. That's all I have. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys at 4 p.m. I send out the email. Everybody that's willing to jump on, even if it's one or two people. I'll keep it rolling until other people can kind of trickle in. But thank you so much. You guys take care.